Welcome back, y'all. Okay, so the community is basically up in flames right now, and it all has to do with the Lady Gaga meet and greet. And I'm gonna be honest, there's so many valid reasons why people are upset, especially if you're a little monster. I get it, it's probably gonna hurt 10 times worse. However, in the words of Frank Ocean, I see both sides like Chanel. Also, it seems that Gigi is officially back, so that's another thing. If you're watching this and have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, I'm gonna catch y'all up on everything. Editing me here. As of 8:25, B-Plays is no longer the community manager, and the reason for this is a bunch of allegations came out against her. I'm not going to talk about those allegations in this video because I feel like it deserves its own thing, but yeah, I just wanted to give you an update on that. Anyways, back to the video. Now before we start, you already know what I'm gonna say. Please do not be hateful or disrespectful in the comments. I've noticed there's a bunch of cyberbullying going on, and some people aren't noticing it because they're seeing it as constructive criticism when it really isn't. You're more than welcome to give your opinion in the comments, but do not attack the developers personally or influencers or anybody in this video. Or in other words, keep it cute or you'll get the boot. With that being said, let's go ahead and start off with the first section. So let's start off talking about the Gaga event as a whole. For those of y'all who didn't get to join on Saturday, don't worry, you can still hop in, play around in the event, and also claim the hat. But it's only going to be out for 1 week, so get it as soon as you can. Anyways, I'll go ahead and start off by saying that I love the map. I thought it was really cool. I also really enjoyed the dress up area. It was really cute. But I think my favorite part about the map was the photo booth thing. Pretty much you can take pictures solo or with your friends, and then that gets put on the photo booth wall, and that's pretty much all you were able to do while you waited for Gaga. Now once it was time for her to come out on stage, you basically had to clap until the meter got full, and once that happened, she came out on stage with Lana. Next, Gaga asked for everybody to put their paws up, and then once you did it, you'd start flying after this little sparkly thing would touch you. I unfortunately did not get to fly because I'm a flop, but that's okay. And then finally, before the Q&A starts, she appears in the middle of the area where everyone's standing, and while she's walking around, players are able to blow kisses at her. And once that was done, the Q&A officially started, and pretty much the rest of the event was just us watching Gaga type out her answers while Lana asked questions. Now before I start talking about the negatives, I just want to say that I actually enjoyed the first half of the event. I did see a lot of people say they didn't like the interactive stuff we got. They felt like it wasn't enough or it was like the bare minimum, but I genuinely enjoyed the photo booth and I liked the interactive stuff we got to do with Gaga. But I'm not gonna lie, the next half of the event was pretty boring. Not because of the questions that were asked or the answers given. Obviously Gaga's an icon, anything she says is amazing, but it felt very, very slow. And it could be just me or maybe my peeps with ADHD understand, but like I just could not sit there and read for that long, and then like the answers and the questions were very slow. Personally, I thought it was gonna be like a voice chat thing. I was actually hoping it would be, but it seems like there isn't a feature on Roblox to be able to do that. So that's more of a Roblox problem, to be honest. Maybe if they didn't focus on adding dating to the game and actually added features people wanted, we wouldn't be here, but whatever. Now the event itself, even though it felt drawn out, I understand you can't rush Gaga. Like if she's answering, you're not gonna be like, I need you to hurry up and answer. Like who? You cannot do that, especially considering she took time out of her busy schedule to be in that event. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be there like, I need Gaga to hurry up and answer. Pretty much what I've been seeing from people in the community is that they should have done it a different way. Like one of the suggestions is to have done a live stream. It seems like people would have been happier to have heard Lady Gaga herself talking rather than typing, I guess. But I do want to be fair to the devs. This is their first time doing a meet and greet. Or I know some people don't consider it a meet and greet, an interview, whatever you want to call it. This is the first time where they arrange something with a celebrity directly rather than just doing an update for the celebrity. However, I did see a lot of people saying that obviously they didn't expect for the event to be perfect. And of course, nobody expected to actually meet Lady Gaga, like it's impossible. But there were so many other things that added up that just made people feel really bad about the whole thing. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next section and talk about all the reasons why people were upset. So the very first complaint is how the event was advertised to us. While people didn't expect to meet Lady Gaga personally, obviously, people were expecting her to be on voice chat or something like that. But the event was 2 people typing back and forth while we spectated. Now, apparently there are some people who thought she was gonna like server hop or something like that. Of course, that can't happen because it's impossible to go through every server. And let's be for real, if she server hopped, the way every server would crash immediately, and the way Roblox is, there would have definitely been an outage. But yeah, people were mad because they didn't like how it was advertised. They felt like they should have said an interview with Gaga rather than a meet and greet. The second reason as to why the community was upset is because it was drawn out and slow, which I talked about earlier in the video, and even the devs talked about it, saying that yes, they do agree it was a little bit drawn out. Now, another reason why people were upset is because they didn't actually think it was Lady Gaga herself in there. I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching it, I did think it was pre-recorded. Not because I thought the devs were lying or anything like that. I genuinely just thought, you know what, Lady Gaga's probably busy. She probably does not have a moment in time to just sit down and play Roblox. Also, the special chat boxes they made pretty much reminded me of the Lana lore, so it gave like cutscene vibes rather than live event. Now, because of all the speculation, Lady Gaga took a picture and posted it online to prove it was her. And honestly, that was enough proof for me. But even with that picture, there was a lot of people who still thought it was fake. I have no reason to think Lady Gaga would lie to me, so if she says she's playing Roblox, I'ma believe her. Now, this specific allegation actually led to the developers and the community clashing heads a lot. The first thing that happened was in the Discord. Zach posted where Lady Gaga took a picture of her playing Roblox, and B Plays responded saying exactly. And then somebody we hadn't seen for a while responded as well. Gigi replied saying clock it. I know some of y'all are probably like, Gigi, when does she come back? That's actually another reason why people were upset, because they felt like Gigi just kind of came back out of nowhere. And not only that, the very first thing she says came off as rude to a lot of people in the community, so it's not sitting right with a lot of people. Anyways, people felt like B Plays and Gigi were being snarky. Now, I'm gonna be so for real, I didn't feel that way personally, but since the community was already upset, they felt like these responses were disrespectful, and it made them feel like the devs didn't care how they felt. Now, just to talk about the Gigi thing a little bit, I personally feel like she should have addressed the community first. If you've been around all summer, you've probably noticed that Gigi made appearances here and there. The first time I remember seeing her was during the trailer for the summer update, and I remember seeing her around in certain photos with influencers or other developers, but I believe this is the very first time that Gigi says anything in the Discord server after being gone for a year. And I'm gonna be honest, it would be good if she addressed the community and basically said, hey guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry about everything that happened. I reflected on my actions, all that. If she actually means it, obviously. But since she didn't do that, it does feel weird. I don't know, maybe she is planning on doing something, but I'm gonna just leave it at that for now. Now, the next reason why people are upset about the event is because of the influencers. There were a lot of people that were upset that Call Me Haley and Lana Ray got to be in the event. Not only that, but apparently 2 out of the 3 contest winners were actually popular TikTok influencers, so a lot of players felt like the contest was rigged. I'm gonna be honest, I understand why people are upset about this, especially people who are big Lady Gaga fans. Anyways, people in the community pretty much felt like there was privileges given to influencers that have a big following. Now, if we look at it from the side of marketing, it makes sense to get some of the biggest creators to be a part of the event, but if you look at it from the perspective of somebody who isn't a content creator or doesn't have a following, you feel like the same people keep getting all the opportunities and privileges. And I know a lot of people are gonna say I'm reading into it too deep, but I understand that feeling that people have. I feel like it would have been nice if there was more contest winners that could have met her. And I'm not gonna lie, if you look at the pictures, it does seem like a lot of the people that were in that room were specifically developers, influencers, and that's not me trying to be hateful or anything like that. Obviously, the developers have to be in there, but I feel like there should have been more community members that weren't necessarily a part of the DTI team or an influencer. And honestly, I do appreciate the people who made that vocal. So in case the devs do something like this in the future again, they'll take into consideration like, hey, you know what, maybe we should get more people from the community rather than influencers or whatever. It's editing me here again. I forgot to mention this in the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. In one of the apologies that was sent out to the community, it stated that they had to to follow certain protocols from the Lady Gaga team. Based on the statement, they were told to bring Call Me Haley and Lana Ray into the event, and it seems that there is a limit to how many contest winners were allowed. Anyways, back to the video. But let's move on to the next reason. There's a lot of people mad at B Plays in general because of her live stream. There was a clip circling around where she sounded upset and frustrated with the community, and her response made a lot of people feel unheard and like she didn't really care.
Read the disclaimer at the bottom of the game. It's pre-made. There is no disclaimer. Well, you guys just make stuff up as you go along, don't you?
They really do. Where are you seeing this at? Is this in our
It's in our stream chat, yeah. Some people just hate, people just hate fun. Like, you guys just hate fun.
Fine. I'm having a great time.
So miserable.
Okay,
It doesn't matter anyway, because for us, we will continue to be happy and proud of what we've done, knowing
Yeah.
she was really here, and that's all that matters.
Now, she does apologize for this. I'll talk about that in the next section. But lastly, the community got upset that the Discord got locked down. The sentiment I've been seeing around is that people feel like the devs don't want to see the criticism, so they just shut out everybody. Now, I know one of the main reasons why they do this is when the community is getting really toxic, which I think sucks, because then that shuts out people who are actually giving constructive criticism. And then those people get put in the same boat as the toxic people. Now that we're done going through the reasons why the community is upset about the event, let's go ahead and talk about the two different apologies and why there's controversy behind them. Okay, to start off, there's one apology that I'm not sure if it's fake or real. I've asked around and I see some people say it's real, others say it's fake, so at this point, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the screen if you want to read it, but again, I'm unable to confirm if these screenshots are real. Now, with that being said, there were two different apologies that were sent out to the community. I'll go ahead and read the most important parts of the first one, and then we'll move on to the second one. We're very sorry for anyone who stated they felt misled. I feel confident we made it clear that the event was a Q&A and virtual meet and greet. Reading back the announcements, we did very clearly mention both of these things. Perhaps we should have not assumed that it would be obvious to people that we couldn't get 500,000 people all in our server. That's on us, and next time we will be clear about that. Everything we said or posted had to be approved by all parties, and much of the language that was used was asked of us. None of those people, ourselves included, thought people would assume that all of hundreds of thousands of attendees would personally meet Gaga by themselves in a server. It would be physically impossible. We did also include a disclaimer on the event page that 2 million people signed up to it. Obviously, not all 600,000 people would personally meet Gaga on their own. We also did communicate that the contest winners would be in her server, but that it would be broadcasted across all servers so that everyone could virtually meet her and see her responses. There seems to be a rhetoric that only influencers matter. That isn't true. The admin server was used to actually control the event that was being shown across all servers, and we allowed our devs into it because they had to be there to run the event. We invited 2 influencers, Lana and Haley, which we were requested to do, and then the 3 winners of the outfit contest, which we did advertise that the winner would be in the server. I apologize if that advertising was still not clear enough. Now, the rest of the apology is them agreeing that the event did feel drawn out and boring at times, but it is their first time doing something like this, so they did their best. They also stated that Lady Gaga's answers were not scripted. However, all the questions asked were approved by her team beforehand. They also addressed the clock it and exactly comments that were made on the day of the event, saying that no offense was intended and that they usually joke around like that with the community. Also, at the end, for people who are wondering, apparently the ×2 baddie pass XP was glitched out. It's fixed now, and to apologize, they extended the baddie pass until Sunday, so there's an extra 5 days remaining. Also, the 2 XP will continue right until the end of the pass on Sunday so that you can complete it. Honestly, there was a lot in that apology and it was really long, but just based off the first 2 paragraphs, I see why people are mad. It didn't really come off as an apology, but more like, hey, you guys are to blame for this. Which again, the majority of the community understood they wouldn't be able to actually meet Lady Gaga, but they expected something else to make it feel more special. Now, with that being said, I understand why the Dress to Impress team is upset. I can only imagine how hard they worked all these months to make this event and also make this update. Now, the update was received very well, but the fact the event got so much backlash is probably very disheartening, especially when you put so much work into something. I'm sure it's frustrating to see people be upset with you over it. That doesn't invalidate any of the criticism they got. I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read the next apology. It's also very long, but I'll go ahead and read the most important parts. We would like to take the opportunity to apologize to you and take accountability. We took the time to read over messages sent by a lot of you in the chat. I want to begin by apologizing for my defensiveness personally. As a community manager, it is not professional nor acceptable. I also want to apologize for my frustration and manner of speaking in my stream last night. I should have not responded with such a lack of empathy, and that's completely on me. I know I got caught up in the moment, but moving forward, I will keep in mind your feedback and ensure that my responses are more appropriate and thought out. Additionally, as a team, we will ensure that we do not respond to situations too quickly or thoughtlessly, and ensure we take more time to consider your feedback and our responses properly. We're very, very sorry that the event marketing was misleading to many of you. This is the first time we've done something this big, but that doesn't excuse the fact that we missed the mark. In the future, we'll make more effort to ensure that our messaging is very clear so you know exactly what to expect. While we are very proud of the event, we do recognize it had many pitfalls that resulted in it feeling drawn out or a little boring towards the end. This is a learning experience for us, one which will help us shape the future events in a way that is much more enjoyable for you all. We did not want the event to feel exclusionary, and we're very sorry that it did. The event admin server was filled with developers who were running the event behind the scenes, and as part of that, we were allowed to bring 2 influencers and the 3 contest winners. You are all equally important to us within our community, and we're very sorry it appeared as though we were prioritizing people. We cannot express how thankful we are for the community we have, without whom we would not be here today. We appreciate that even though we do not always achieve our goals for player satisfaction, we are very thankful for those of you who share your constructive feedback with us so that we can better learn how to. Thank you for your time, and we should have done better the first time. So here are my final thoughts on the whole situation. I feel like it's valid that the community is upset, but there's a lot of people doing way too much. The main type of hate I've been seeing is just straight up transphobia. And at that point, anything you had to say is invalidated. There's absolutely no reason to ever be transphobic. I definitely have my criticism about the event, like it being boring, or that the devs could have done something different to make the event feel more special, or the fact that Gigi came back without addressing the community. Whatever problems I have, I'm gonna speak out and say what I need to say, but I'm always gonna try my hardest to say it constructively and without hate. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the event. Did you enjoy it or did you hate it? What do you think would have made the event better? Okay, bye. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, bye. See you. Bye.